Morning again, Matthew. Still Saturday. One last thing. Taking a little break from the automotive stuff. Let's talk about gals or guardian ad litems. This is a touchy subject with me, and this is some bullshit that goes on in the family court religiously. From what I'm told and what I understand, a GAL would be an extension of the court, acting on the court's behalf, doing an alleged investigation and representing the child's best interests. I've heard child's attorney a number of times, but they're not necessarily that, because statements that have been made to me by there have been three gals in my case, now number four. We have an attorney, Leah Gawarek. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Out of Green Bay is the number four. And gals. Gals are another violation of a parent's rights, in my opinion. Violates the 14th Amendment right, violates your right to due process, a fair trial, impartial trial. Because let me explain. And I'm gonna dumb this down and make this real simple. There have been four gals now on this case, and I have gotten nowhere. I have had to pay each and every time for every single gal half. The ex, Stacy, has been ordered to pay the other half. The last couple of years, I have vehemently opposed the gal being appointed, because I would rather go to trial, be able to present my evidence to an impartial judge, have witnesses testify, subpoena Bellin, subpoena the school, subpoena the other individuals. Stacy should have to bring those individuals in, period, to support her case, and it never happens. It never happens. This is what happens. The family court is so lazy. They don't want to give you a fair and impartial trial. So they supply this gal. They appoint this attorney that's allegedly looking out for the child, and they're not. And I can cite specific examples, going all the way back to Dick Boren. Dick Boren, attorney out of Marinette, shittiest attorney I've ever met. Didn't do an investigation, knew about all the CPS calls, all the false allegations, knew they were all unsubstantiated. Do you think any of that went in Dad's favor? Absolutely not. The second gal, Alice Shipper, another attorney out of Green Bay, she was the only one that gave me time back, called me a good father, did a bunch of other things, but guess what? None of that shit gets put on record. And you still end up paying. I'm still paying for the first or the second two gals, and the court wanted to appoint another one, and I absolutely opposed it. Why the hell do I want to pay for another gal when I'm not going to get fairly treated? It's not going to be impartial, and they ain't doing an investigation. And here's my point. And I'll dumb this down real simple, because that piece of garbage attorney out of Ocano, Aaron Kraswinski, I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, he was number three. And here is an exact point where the gal lied. The gal flat out lied about what would seem like a small matter. But if he lied about one, he's lying about other things and not doing an investigation. Back to my earlier videos with this child and this week-long uninterrupted vacation time that Stacy and I had written in the order, that's been the spawn of like 10 hearings, because she keeps trying to take my parental time. She had the sheriff come up here when she shorted me medication, did all the things, just child abuse, refusing to provide medication just so I couldn't exercise my time. And that's bullshit. That again shows who and what kind of mother she is. But the gal, this Kraswinski, allegedly did an investigation, and in the first part, I stopped reading his report after I read the lie that he wrote down and testified to. The gals don't testify, but it's in the report. What do you do when a gal lies and it's on the record? Because that's a violation of rights. That's a violation of Wisconsin law. That's a violation of his integrity as an attorney. But the point is, I made her aware of the last vacation, which was actually subsequently the last time I got to spend good quality time around Christmas with my son before he's taken out of the picture. And that, again, she was notified. I had notified Stacy via the Our Family Wizard app, which a lot of parents out there will know. It's an app the court makes you pay for. They're really expensive. It's supposed to document information, document emails, document everything about you, the parents, the child. And there was an email There was an email where I had given her at least almost a year notice that I was taking this vacation. And guess what? Guess what? The whole matter got brought up about the sheriff's department and having to get them involved to get the medication to get my son. That gal was so gender biased and so biased against me in general, not doing an investigation, doing things illegally, not representing the court properly, that he had the balls to put in his gal report that the dad was making a whole bunch of crap out of nothing. Mom didn't do anything wrong, and dad sprung the vacation on her in a matter of like weeks or days, which is complete bullshit, because I provided that very email to the courts, which it went on deaf ears. They conveniently dismissed it, didn't even read it. But I had the evidence via Our Family Wizard of over almost a year advance notice of this vacation. And this gal lied in the report. He knew about the email. He knew about the vacation. He knew the mother did wrong and violated the court order. And he still put in there that dad, just to make mom look better and not look like the piece of garbage that she was, he justified putting this in there that dad did everything wrong, which is complete bullshit, because I followed the court order, I notified her, and I still had to get the police involved just to get medication to exercise my placement time with my son in that Marinette court order. What does that tell you? I'm paying for this gal, and they gender biased at a minimum. And he is definitely going against the code and the ethics of an attorney, because he knew about the email. He knew she was notified, and he lied. He lied in his report, and that just shows you. That shows you how Kraswinski is as an attorney and how he's representing my son in court. And guess what, Kraswinski? Gals can be held accountable, especially if you break the law. I filed multiple issues with the OLR, Office of Lawyer Regulation, all falling on deaf ears. They didn't do jack shit. That is some of the shadiest shit in this state. When a gal representing the court can lie in a report to the court about an incident that happened that's black and white. It's black and fucking white. She was notified. She was notified well in advance, and he clearly lied in his report. And that's exactly where I lost interest in the gal and lost interest in everything when it comes to a gal, because they are a direct violation of your rights. You can't question them. You can't put them on the stand. You can't get them to testify, but yet they come up with all these alleged facts. No, they're not facts. It's a carbon copy of mom's motion or petition to the court is all it is. And then it's a carbon copy of everything the narcissistic, scorned individual is telling the gal. I didn't participate one bit with Kraswinski, and it all came down to the first phone contact I made to him. And this is another thing that's bullshit. I called up because I had asked for that third gal. I requested it. I found out who it was. I made a phone call. I tried heading some things off at the pass, getting the gal to come up here. He laughed when I asked him to come to my home and see Jackson in my home and how he was, laughed at me. And then he had the shittiest attitude when it came to the amount of documents in the case, the amount of money it would be involved to properly investigate it, and his fucking caseload. That is the most bullshit I have heard in my entire life. And if that is what the state and the county sticks behind, bullshit. Things need to change in this family court system, and it needs to change with getting a fair and impartial trial. These gals, crap. They can take this shit right out of the picture. And this new attorney, mark my words, I am taking this to federal. And Aaron Kraswinski has already given me enough evidence where he violated my rights, violated state law, violated his oath to uphold the Constitution and state law by lying in a gal report. Real simple. So comment about this gal stuff, because I know plenty of people out there that have been watching me have horror stories about a gal. And shit needs to change, because I would rather go in front of the judge and be able to present my case by myself and I would do just fine if they were fair and impartial. Take the gal out of the picture, because just charging me for this, again, it's about a money-driven, money-hungry court system. I asked specifically not to have the gal involved because I shouldn't have to pay for them to trample my rights. So make it a great Saturday.